Welcome back to the John and Linetia Show.
I'm still trying to figure out how to make extra money. Thinking about going to Vegas now.
You're going to waste money flying to Vegas and waste more money gambling?
Nope. I'm going to Vegas to become a female Elvis impersonator. I'm sure that will make me some money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know. See, we think alike. See?
So, read a story last week so we've got all these, we're going to have all these speed cameras that are going to be, coming to a lot more streets in Chicago.
Right.
And they're an outgrowth of the red light cameras.
Ah, yes.
And what basically is found, at least in the city of Chicago, actually, the lights, there's one less second of yellow. So when a light turns from green to red, one less second of yellow than there is in the suburbs. Now, independent of that, I mean, that's something that was very interesting. So it's a quicker change, which some may feel is a bit unfair. But independent of that, a state senator, from Northwest, from Lake Barrington, had sponsored a measure in the Illinois Senate to require that if cities use red light cameras, they have to tack on one more second to yellow lights at those intersections. So those intersections have another second of yellow compared to other intersections within that same city.
Okay.
So it passed overwhelmingly in the Illinois Senate and has not gone anywhere in the House. And surprise, surprise, where has it died? In the House Rules Committee, controlled by Mike Madigan.
The Mike Madigan?
Yeah. And basically, while it is in that committee, you can't debate on the legislation. You can't even call it up for a vote in the House. So it basically could die there. Now, a lot of, the advocates and research shows that if you put actually longer yellow lights, you get a reduction in people blowing the red,
Okay.
A reduction in accidents,
Okay.
and a reduction in red light camera tickets. So the connected are basically stalling the legislation because of the revenue and probably also the revenue that goes to these companies that run.
So, is there any concrete study saying that this is correct?
Yeah, that's the thing, is the studies do say it's correct. They're not like, it's not like the studies that the mayor threw out about, all these people who are supposedly speeding past schools, all the time and all of this. It's not like those bogus studies that don't exist. These are studies that do exist that basically show that if you want to make an intersection safer, you want to add to the yellow. Now, the red light camera intersections, the issue that you got is, that you might get on camera. You might get a picture if you run the red. So as soon as it hits yellow, you've got instances of people who are hitting the gas.
Right.
That's where extra accidents might be happening too. And so if we ultimately let everybody know, hey, the yellow lights and the red light, and if people sense it, are actually longer, don't worry, don't frickin' hit the gas.
But they're still losing money if they...
Well, they would. If they do that, they'll actually... So, once again, proof that the red light cameras are not about safety. They're about revenue.
Nice. I don't like them.
Well, I think they're ridiculous. I think they may help in some cases, but something like this, it's obvious that it's really just money making.
We can't just put some speed signs up. No one's paying attention to in this area, drive instead of 35, bring your speed down to 25.
Well, that's the speeding. This is the running the red lights.
But it's still in that.
Yeah, I mean, I totally don't think that there should be speed cameras. I think that is a bit crazy. But the red light cameras, I kind of agree with, except that you got to make it a little more safer. You can't have it so that, it's a red light camera, I better speed through this yellow.
Yeah, instead of just stopping and waiting for the light to change to red.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Seems like there has been also an increase of things going on expressways around here. You know, I know we've talked about stuff before, but I would like to talk about or bring up, I want to say, is we have people who are like throwing rocks or whatever off the expressway and hitting cars, and cars are getting into accidents, and people are getting hurt. And this latest incident, I believe they picked up a 14 and a 15-year-old who were doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I just got two questions. One, where are your parents? Where are your parents? Why are you standing on the expressway throwing rocks down on people's cars and damaging them? You know.
Well, that's assuming they have two.
Oh.
Or even that they have one and they're not being raised by grandma.
Still a parent.
Yeah, but we're still talking about broken homes.
Still a parent. And number two, I'm not sure if anything can be done about this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think vigilance and, I mean, it's amazing that they actually found the kids. Of course, it's probably because they were hanging around. They were throwing the rocks and weren't, you know, if you're going to do that, kids, throw the rocks and then run like hell, okay? And don't come back to the same overpass, okay? So a little tip from the John and Linetia show. You want to throw the rocks and then immediately, don't want to hang around because the cops are going to come and get you. Okay?
That's a tip from the John show.
And maybe jump on a bus, go to a different overpass, throw more rocks, and then go somewhere else. But
John, this is dangerous. You know that, right?
No kids listen to our show anyway.
Oh, that's true. It's still dangerous. It needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yes. Please do not throw rocks off the expressway overpasses.
Ever.
Ever.
This is a PSA from the John and Linetia show. Our show today is brought to you by Vegans for America. Come on down to the hottest vegan barbecue party ever. There will be pork ribs, pork butt, pork shank, beef tongue, beef feet, and many other delicious meats to chow down on. Come on down. Party starts whenever you get there. It's a barbecue party sponsored by Vegans for America.
You're listening to the John and Linetia Show.